This is Harshaw's Heroes, and I am Jubal. Welcome back for our next video segment. Just some housekeeping notes first. The response has been growing on our YouTube channel. We appreciate all your support with that. And as far as appearances right now, you'll notice the production company went and made up logo t-shirts for us, which is great, or logo golf shirts, which is great. Also, you might be noticing a little bit of fuzz coming up on the head. It has gone in my little desert lair from 100 degrees every day to, it's gotten down into the 20s at night already. So I need a little protection for my head, so I'm growing that back in. For all of you who think I was a natural born bald person, nah, sorry, just took it off for comfort. So we've had a remarkable couple of weeks since the last video. We've been through the election cycle. We are going through the election cycle. Obviously, nothing's been decided, and that's not what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to let the process work itself out, and in my personal life itself, I'm going to make sure it doesn't matter. You've had my opinion in the last couple of videos as to what I think would be a better course for the country, but you know what? Whether that works out or not, it doesn't matter to me, the individual, and I'm going to explain why today. To cover first things first, we need to look at what we have right now. We have the Republicans and we have the Democrats, then we have the Libertarians, and then we have the anarchists out there. All of these have all flavors of each individual group. The Republicans in general want to say that they control money, they're fiscally conservative, and that they want to have a moral and lawful society. That's how they propose it. The Democrats, on the other hand, want to have a totally free society where you can do whatever you want in your life and nobody can bother you. And to do that, they're going to take a little bit of extra taxes out of your check so that they can provide you with the means to do just that. The last category we have going is what they call the anarchists, and that's what we'll be talking about in depth. Now, people tend to go with the right and the left as the two opposite ends of the political spectrum. This is not true. There's a fascism of the left and a fascism of the right. Now, the lefties are going to get all upset by that, but what I mean by a fascism is the state is the arbiter of what you should be doing in your life. I have chosen anarchism as a way. Now, anarchism gets everyone in a tizzy. Anarchism is not those guys with the fire bombs and the riots and lighting things on fire and beating people up and all manner of stuff. That is not anarchism. That is violent social change. It can be left-wing or it can be right-wing. It has nothing to do with anarchism. Anarchism translates out from the original language as without leaders. It means we can run a society of individuals and we can deal with ourselves in a one-on-one basis without having some lord or overseer be on top of us all the time. Anarchism is an individual choice. It is something that will work in small groups. Genetically, we are predisposed to socialize, to be a social animal, to arrange hierarchies within our family structures and within our group structures, and then to be fearful of anything that comes in that is strange, that may threaten the stability of the group and the hierarchy in the group. The political hierarchy has done wonders in keeping us at each other's throats with what the other group is going to do. And most people bought into it. So we come back to the anarchists. Form of anarchism is a pragmatic anarchism. It means that I alone determine what happens in my sphere of influence. As a pragmatic anarchist, I try to minimize my interaction with the government to the absolute barest essential things. Why, as a pragmatic anarchist, I interact with the government is for my own peace of mind. Everybody says, well, what are they going to do if we all stop paying taxes? The pragmatic end of this says that not everybody is going to stop paying taxes, and the persons who are still paying taxes are going to have the government come after the ones not paying taxes And that's where prisons and concentration camps and all that stuff comes in. I find it the cost of doing business as a pragmatic anarchist just to pay them. As for the politics of every day, I am of the mind that it don't matter who's in charge. Not seeing a dime's worth of difference in any administration from George Bush Sr. through today. All of politics in Washington is theater. Woodrow Wilson said that there's nothing that happens by accident in politics. If something happens, it was planned. I'm going to avoid the government in whatever ways I can. I want to make changes to my house or my property, I do it. I want to raise my family in a certain way, I do it. Pragmatic anarchism applies common sense. You pick the battles you are going to fight based on your idea of whether you are going to win that battle or you're just wasting your time. We go back to taxes. Taxes is a battle I'm not going to win. The elimination of government is not a battle I'm going to win. Dead people out there is not a battle I'm going to win. What I can do is, on an individual basis, offset all of these things. If you think about it, what directly affects your life from the government is relatively small. They take your money. Yes, they impose rules upon society, and I take it sort of the way that Robert Heinlein said it. If a rule is not too onerous on me, I'll obey it. If it is, I ignore it. A civilized group of people can get along without laws. There are some things that just are. It's basic human self-respect. The bedrock of every moral code lies with personal responsibility. Without personal responsibility, no law will ever solve any problem. Period. A civilized society is a society where each individual feels personally responsible for themselves. The reality of it is, if you're depending on the government to take care of you, you've given yourself over to slavery, because for every time the government helps you, they're going to put a condition on you for getting that help. It is easier to not deal with the government than to deal with it. It is easier to put the government out of my mind as much as possible, because in reality, what the government does in very little way affects my personal life, the life of my family, my friends, and my social circle. What are practical aspects beyond that? Take an interest in what does affect your personal life. Pragmatic anarchism is doing what you can do to both avoid the government and enrich your private life. So that's it for today. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please leave a comment. We love the comments, and I also accept feedback on my Twitter account, which is JubalHarshaw13 on Twitter. We'll be back fairly soon with a new version of topics. We've got so much to cover now that the election is essentially done. We just don't know the winner. But we will be covering general topics from now on. Freedom for all and liberty to every individual out there. We're out.
Liftoff of the Delta rocket carrying blast. Gamma Ray Telescope.